Overheard my 26M fiancée 24F tell her friend on the phone that she settled for being with me, and that marrying me was her last resort. Update 2. Just did one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Today after breakfast I told her we should sit down and talk. She was hesitant, but I said it was important. We went to the living room and she said to me, "I already know what this is about." My post apparently made it to the front page, so of course she saw it after scrolling down a bit under popular. Of course the waterworks started happening right away. I told her what she said had deeply hurt me, but obviously she already knew that since she read my post. Through her tears, she said, "I was just joking, I wasn't serious." She then went on saying stuff like, "I love you, I love you." I told her I can't be in a marriage where my S/O doesn't love me the same way I love them. She tried to tell me that she loved me and that I meant something to her. But it was all. She said she didn't want to lose me. I told her I don't think this marriage was the right decision. And from there I basically told her it was over. I told her I knew how she really felt about me, and that it was she basically played with my emotions. For all those wondering, we have no kids, and I pay fully for the apartment we live in, and I own almost everything we have other than her clothes. I even pay for her car. So after all of this she'll have little to nothing left. Before our marriage, we agreed to sign a prenup, and at that moment, I've never been so happy with a decision I've made in my life. After that it was a few seconds of awkward silence, before she said to me you. She started screaming at me, telling me, "You just can't end things like that." I told her I could do whatever I wanted, and that's when she became very hostile. She screamed at me saying, "You're the worst relationship I've ever been in. You think I can't find someone again? Do you think you'll ever from someone as good as me? You're a idiot my name. She grabbed her bag and phone, and said I'm leaving, before slamming the door behind her. At that moment I felt like I was on one of those dramatic sitcoms you'd find of TV. I sat down on the couch and cried, and I'm still crying as I type this up. It's both happy and sad tears, and I knew it was only time before she cheated on me or left me. She never loved me, it was obvious. Our relationship only went one way, and I feel like a complete idiot for not seeing it earlier. I live in California, and I'm gonna start the process to annul our marriage. Tomorrow, I'm gonna start throwing all of her belongings into trash bags, cause that's essentially where they belong. I'm not throwing out her stuff. Just using the trash bags as a way to give her back the things she owns. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your kind words and your great advice. All of you gave me the courage to stand up for myself, and I know my life will certainly improve as a result. Edit/update, thanks everyone for the kind words. Really has made me feel a lot better. Going to be talking to her soon. Also, I noticed a lot of people thinking this post is fake. I understand how it could be seen that way, but it isn't. I've been engaged to her for over a year and a half, and just 3 months ago we got married. Not really used to calling her my wife yet. Also I used an old alt since she uses Reddit. Anyways, thanks for the advice everyone. It amazes me how people on the internet can care so much about a person they don't even know. I'm going to talk to her today. I will be updating you all soon after. Edit, meant to put wife in the title but now I can't change it. Basically the title. I overheard my wife talking to one of her best friends on the phone while I was passing the bedroom. This friend is in a serious relationship. My wife then said to her, "Sweetie, remember it's your choice. Don't settle for just anyone." That's the mistake I made. Who knows who else I could have had. My name was my very last resort, and now look where it made me end up. Hearing that honestly broke my heart in two. Does she even love me? Why am I being treated as a second base? Am I being dramatic and overreacting? I haven't said anything about it since. I honestly don't know what to do, but hearing her say has really made me upset. You should probably confront her about it, but be civil. It will always bother you if you just leave it. Also, keep your own happiness in mind. Will staying with her make you happy in the long run, even if you know she isn't? I think there's a lot more to it than that. Op will be constantly afraid that his wife will leave him at the first realistic chance she gets. And that is a legitimate concern. What she's basically saying is, I would leave him if I thought that were possible. Here's the problem. She's only 24. She's obviously going to realize it is in fact possible to leave him for someone else at some point. 24 is really young. Anyway, my point is that the countdown is already on. In my opinion, it's only a matter of time until Op's wife leaves him. So Op has a very serious choice to make. Do you stay with a woman you know will leave you at some point, just because you want that life experience being with her while you still can, which, if you believe she's in a higher league than you, might be wise, or leave her first because you know the truth and seize control of your life immediately? I think it's a tough choice and I can't make it for you. It really depends on how much you think staying with her as long as possible will help you to become a better, cooler person. This post was made 2 hours ago. The best advice I can offer Op is to stay calm and try to relax. A lot of irrational and very harmful actions can occur over overheard conversations. Your wife is 24 and is complaining about settling. Not only is this a sign that either she's getting cold feet and doesn't value you or respect you, but it's a sign that she doesn't value your relationship. Thoughts like these only fester into worse monsters. Even if she only meant it in jest, it still means it's something she holds to such low value to be willing to joke about it. First step, calmly confront her about it. If it gets heated or emotionally, it's likely she'll backtrack, deny or blame you for misinterpreting the conversation. If you let all the pain you're feeling right now out on her during this confrontation, she likely just close up or leave. Be blunt, straightforward and mature. If she does value you, then it's in your best interest to get a divorce, with as few scares as possible. If she's willing to move on, then you must get couples therapy. Don't let her convince you to sweep this under the rug. This is not a situation where you can leave well enough alone. And above all else, you have to bear your own mental health as your top priority. You've been hurt by your wife. Ignoring or undermine how you actually feel won't just hurt you more in both the short and long term, it also breeds contempt, which always kills relationships anyway. All in all, I wish you the best. Great advice by you/Thebespymaguy. Your wife's comment can only grow into something dangerously toxic in your mind. It can't be ignored. But you also can't end an entire relationship based on one overheard comment. Wait until you've calmed down and are mentally prepared to talk. If this is her sincere feeling, you need to know that. Edit. I've gotten a couple of responses that the wife's comment is enough to end a relationship, even a marriage. I respectfully disagree, but I upvoted your responses because Op should consider all angles before making a decision. I would have no problem ending a relationship over this. It'd be one thing if they got into a fight and she said that in a moment of anger to hurt his feelings, but she didn't even know he was there, so you know she was being honest. Them being married does complicate things, and I'm not a fan of throwing a marriage away on a whim, but I don't see how it'd be possible to move on from something like this. She literally said she wouldn't be with him if she could have found someone better and that he was her last resort. How do you go about fixing that? If she had feelings for him but they were going through a rough patch, I'd say maybe a marriage counselor would help, but it doesn't sound like she ever wanted him to begin with. It is breaking my mind that anyone could say that you shouldn't just end the relationship over this. This is about as nail in the coffin as saying I never loved you. How anyone could be okay with someone saying you were their last resort is beyond me. Have some self-respect, people. What would you call his wife's comment if not toxic? Did Op magically mishear her? Was it a joke said in a completely serious, matter-of-fact way? If her comment was honest, which is almost certainly was, as she didn't know he was listening, it can only mean her respect for Op is lacking and she doesn't see him as the type of partner she hoped to settle down with, and still doesn't. She didn't say, you know, I had my doubts in the beginning but I'm looking so forward to being married, there's no one I'd rather be with now. She said he was her last resort. That's an incredibly toxic mindset to bring into a marriage, especially considering she didn't even tell Op how she feels, letting him commit to a woman who feels that way about him. I'm not sure how you can respectfully disagree with any of that. Maybe you're an exception, but most people want to be with someone where there is a mutual desire to be together. No way, she'll tell that this comment was a joke or wherever.